What is sarcopenia? You're going to find out today, and also hear about how it could be affecting you, even if you're in your 30s. Dr. Tanya Elliott is a dual board certified physician in both allergy, immunology, and internal medicine, a national media contributor, and the chief medical officer of LifeForce, the nation's largest longevity medicine program. With more than 350 million social media views and appearances on Good Morning America Today and CBS Mornings, as well as others, she's known for making complex health science practical and actionable. I know you're going to get a lot out of today's mini episode, so enjoy the show. Hi, this is Marijo Tinlin from the Teaching Your Toddler Show. Today we have a very special guest. Tanya Elliott is here to talk to us about something that is very surprising for a lot of people, I think. She has a new survey out that reveals some startling facts about women and muscle loss. So welcome to the show. Dr. Elliott, tell us a little bit about this survey.
Sure. So thanks for having me. So Viactive, which is a leading women's supplement brand, commissioned a survey of 2,000 women to understand what their health priorities are. So first things first, the good news. Over 60% of women really are prioritizing their strength and mobility. They care about their health and they care about their strength and mobility. The concerning thing about this is very few women knew what the word sarcopenia is. Now I wonder, do you, Mary Jo, know what the word sarcopenia is?
I do, only because of my mother, but yes,
Okay.
tell the rest
Okay.
of
But
them.
everyone knows what osteoporosis is, right? That's the loss of bone. Sarcopenia comes first. That's loss of muscle mass. And we're not talking about it enough. And the survey revealed that only 6% of women knew what sarcopenia was and what to do about it. Right. So that's really concerning. And if you ask any, friends or family members, they probably don't know what sarcopenia is either. So as clinicians, we need to start talking about it more, and women need to be more aware of it because preserving your muscle strength is incredibly important. Loss of muscle starts in our 30s, and we lose about 8% of muscle per decade. And then step on the accelerator in your 50s and 60s because that accelerates even more. That muscle loss accelerates even more. And that's why we end up with women with osteoporosis and an increase in fall risk and then having complications from hip fracture, right? So we need to start talking about the muscle first.
Yeah, and I understand. I've heard the saying, muscle doesn't age. So, like, you can just keep, if you lift weights and build your muscles, what are some of the ways that you can prevent this?
I love that. I really love that phrase. It's really important. Like, this is not a destiny, right? There are actually things that we can do about it. We can preserve and build muscle up until we die. Right. And so one of the things that's important is coenzyme Q10. That's like the energy, the fuel for your muscles to be healthy and also for you to build new muscle. And we naturally produce it, but we produce less of it with age. The good news is you can get it from foods. The not so good news is it's mostly found in organ meat. So unless you love like liverwurst sandwiches, you may not be able to get it from your food. Viactive actually has a chew that tastes really good. So it's a nice alternative to pills for some people. But coenzyme Q10 is important for muscle strength and building, right? And then the second piece is eating enough protein, which often women don't do as much. You want to try, if you can, rule of thumb, around 30 grams of protein with each meal. And then the last piece, the trifecta, is the strength training piece. And understanding that muscle endurance is different from like true strength training and building power and building muscle. So like muscle endurance or activities kind of like Pilates or yoga, focusing on the core. I'm talking about really challenging your large muscle groups by lifting weights. And it's actually a much more efficient way to build and preserve your muscle.
And I think I heard you say that it can happen in women as early as 30 years old. So a lot of young moms listen to the show. What are some of those warning signs that they need to do something?
Yeah. And so it's really interesting, right? Because in our 30s, maybe we have kids, we're a little bit more active. And so like lifting your kids and carrying your kids up and down the stairs, you're doing the strength training. That's great. Maybe you don't have to do as much. But then as we get older and we're not lifting our kids anymore and we're sitting in front of a computer all day and we've got this sedentary lifestyle, right? That's when it shows more and more. So some warning signs are you're really sore after like a light workout. Or you try to open up a jar and you're like, I can't open this. That's another sign. Or you just start feeling like a little bit more fatigued and low energy. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I'm just getting older. But the truth is, no, once you start actually doing the strength training regularly, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not that I was getting older. It's just that I wasn't working these large muscle groups. And like, you'll see how amazingly transformative it is to like actually start paying attention to your muscles, taking the supplementation you need, and then doing the strength training. You're like, oh, I wasn't getting older. I just wasn't, my muscles were falling asleep. They weren't doing anything. They were starting to atrophy.
And before we talk a little bit more about the Viactive, tell me if a woman has never, and I agree with you, when your babies are little, you're carrying them, you're really strong. I mean, I remember my upper body, I had two under two for a while, so I was wicked strong. But then, what if you've never lifted? What do you do to, how can you find workouts? How can you find ways to lift if you've never started before?
We need to make it more accessible. I think a lot of women are like, oh, strength training means I need to go to the gym and I need to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and then I'm going to bulk up and I don't want to look that way. I don't want to be bulky, but that's not what happens. Like you're not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger lifting 200-300 pounds. We're talking about just waking up and giving some attention to those large muscle groups. So how can you start? Sometimes I will tell my patients, just go into your pantry and take out like 2 jars and hold those 2 jars and just do 10 squats, right? And then do 3 sets of that. So maybe each jar is about like 2 pounds or whatever. So now you're going, 4 pounds plus your overall like body weight, right? Another thing you could try to do is resistance bands, which are really like easy. They're portable. You can take them on vacation with you. You can do them, like keep them in your office. I'll sometimes tell patients, get adjustable weights. So they start at like 10 pounds and then they adjust 20, 30, 40, 50. And you can keep them literally, I keep them under my desk in my office. And then anytime I have a break, like once an hour, right? I'm just like, I'm doing my bicep and a squat, or lunges, just holding those weights. So we have to make like strength training more accessible. Weighted vests, please don't waste your time. Unless you want to like wear a weighted vest and walk for like 4 hours, you're not going to tire your muscles out enough for them to actually like build up strength. So a way more efficient thing to do is to lift heavier weights and then do that until you feel tired, like you feel like you can't do another set.
That's amazing. I love how you just can weave that into your day. Everybody has enough time to do a few of those in between or even during a meeting, right? If you're off camera or something, right?
Yeah. And I think it's way more efficient than getting in your car, driving to a class, being in the class for an hour, getting back in your car, having to take you know what? Just like keep the weights, even if it's 15, 20 minutes of like, fewer reps, higher weights is just a way more efficient way to wake up and activate those muscles.
Thank you so much. So the supplementation that you are recommending, tell us a little bit more about that.
So coenzyme Q10 is like the energy powerhouse for our muscle cells. And so we need to think about it like as fuel to feed the mitochondria, which is the energy center in our muscles, and then help us build more muscle. And like I said, we produce it, our body naturally, but then with age, we don't produce it as much. And then I always say, like, eat your vitamins and get things from your food supply. But like I said, it's typically found in organ meats and foods that people don't routinely have in their diet. So that's when I recommend supplementation. That kind of goes for like all supplementation. First, see if you can get it from your food. If you can't, then consider a supplement that you can tolerate. And a lot of people don't like to take pills. So these ones come in a chew and they happen to be pretty tasty. So I'm like, oh, great. My chew.
There
Amazing.
you go. Excellent. Yeah, I've always thought of Viactive as the calcium chews, but I love to hear that there's
And they're
more.
really good, right? Those calcium
Yes.
chews. I was like, can I have some more of these maybe? Like the caramel or the
Like a
chai? Like, used to
snack.
look forward to it. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you so much for speaking to us today. Where can we go for more information?
You can follow Viactive on social media or check out viactive.com.
Dr. Elliott, thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been the Teaching Your Toddler Show with Marijo Tinlin. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed today's show, please leave a 5-star review or a thumbs up so we can reach more parents like you. To be notified when new shows post, please subscribe by sending an email to subscribe@teachingyourtoddler. For more expert interviews, fun activities, and storytime podcasts, please visit our website at teachingyourtoddler.com. All of our shows are also posted as videos as well on our YouTube channel at Marijo Tinlin. Find us on Facebook at Teaching Your Toddler, X at Teaching Toddler, Instagram at Teaching Your Toddler, and make sure you check out our past shows. We have so many diverse topics. There's most likely more shows that you will enjoy. Thanks for joining us, and come back and see us again real soon.